Okay, so this should be the final episode, and it's really actually going to be kind of a quick one, and it'll be a little odd because I'm doing this backwards. I'm going to go ahead and do some of the shading on the doll's body before I put the head back on. So in the other video, you're going to see it already done in the previous one, but then I'm going to show you how I did it in this one because I didn't want to make that video 2 hours long. So this is why. I'm going to start with this brush here, just the same ones I've been using throughout, and I'm going to go with the Burnt Sienna tint and just start to get like a little bit of a layer over her so we can give her a nice cleavage. I bet you guys can see that really good. It's me who cannot. Let's tilt her up a little. We even put a little pillow underneath her head. Well, she doesn't have a head, does she? So basically, I am just going to be doing, for this video, I think what I'll be doing in this video is I'll finish this up and I'll give her body a little once over. And this will be all the like final touches and getting her dressed and showing how I take pictures. I think that would be a really good thing to do for this episode. I'm going to tilt this body a little bit side to side as well because you see it has a pivot. A lot of Barbies don't have that, so you don't have to worry about it if you're doing Barbie. But hands also, they come off. So if you want to, you could take them, just pop them right off and work on them separately. And I might do that later when I put the, when I paint the fingernails. And you can see I don't even take the other nail polish off because I don't need to in this particular case. I'm just going to be painting them the same color as her lips, so it doesn't matter. Now that we have her looking pretty pale, I'm going to go in with, let me grab the, remember this little broken guy? The blender, colorless blender. So I'm going to grab some of the colorless blender. It looks like did I get some? No, it's hard to tell. Put that on my thumb, get some of this, and I'm going to get some red oxide and a little bit of the, what color is this? Burnt Sienna shade. So Burnt Sienna tint, Burnt Sienna shade, very different colors. And start to contour her chest. So I'll do some of this contouring now, give her a nice cleavage, and then I'll come back when I get the head on and make sure she matches. Everything matches up nice. And you can see, like I said, there's a stain here, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. It's going to be covered with clothes. I mean, really, the waistband's going to be where the pantyhose goes, so I don't see an issue with that, really. So when you do your hands, I just do like all the parts of the hands. Oh, I'm so close. Can you see everything here? I hope so. It's hard to tell because I have it kind of tall, but I do like the palm. I do all of the fingertips and any place where you would see like the pink of your fingers. I'll come over here and do the same thing over here. So I'll move her hand in like that so you can see. Hopefully you can see. So I'm just going with the straight permanent red and going right over the tips of those fingers. right in the palm and the tip of the thumb. And you definitely have to spray this because it won't stay if you don't. But yeah, it's super easy, as you can see. Like, there's really not a lot to that. So I like to do the shoulders. Let me sit her up so you can see. I like to do the tops of the shoulders in a pink, and sometimes it won't. It will scratch, and that's just the nature of joints, I guess. There's really nothing you can do. I will spray it all with Mr. Super Clear. So I'm going to get under her clavicle. Is that what that's called? The clavicle bone? Put some highlights on top of it. And then put some, let me wipe some of that off. A little bit of pink underneath the clavicle. And on top of it, highlight it a bit more. And I think I could go with a little bit of the red on top of, just to further highlight the cleavage. Sometimes I tend to go a little too red. So let me clean up my brush and go over a little bit. Maybe put some brown on there so I don't make it too pink. I just tend to be a little bit on the side of red. And I'm just sort of blending them together, and I can go over this again, and more than likely will, because I haven't matched it to the head yet, and but it's a good start. So we can go ahead and do her back. And I'm going to touch the backs of her elbows with some red. And then go over this. And I did spray it before, but I didn't sand it or anything like that. I just sprayed it with Mr. Super Clear. So I just kind of want to give her a little bit of color there. And that's pretty much it. I don't go too crazy. So I'm going to spray her again. I'm going to lay her down so you can see her. I'm going to spray her again, and I better put a lid on this guy because it's broken. And put this away and get the head on. Okay, so I had a conversation with myself, and I've decided to keep her steady because she was blurring out for some reason. So I'm going to keep her steady, and I'm going to use this to cover her head when I spray, because I don't need to spray her head again, and that'll cover the rest of the hair. But I am going to go ahead and start to match a little bit better her head to her body. As you can see, she's still a lot lighter in the body, and that's not okay. So again, using the same brush I used before, and my colors here, same deal. I don't know where my little pre-mixed ones are. I'm not sure. So I am going to want to keep her in frame. So let's just keep your head back a little bit. And maybe I don't want to cover it because I need to see the color, but I can see she's got a lot more brown in her face than she does on her body. So I'm going to go in with the burnt sienna, not the tint, but the shade, which is the lighter brown color. So I got some of that on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of go on her neck a little bit, just to start to darken it up. And then I'm going to go into this shade, which is the red iron oxide. And I'm going to wipe off some excess there. I could use my this stuff, the blender, the colorless blender. I think I will use the colorless blender so that I don't overdo it. I'm just gonna blend it right here on my hand. That's much better. So I'm starting to already match it up a little bit better. And on the chest as well. And I'm at a strange angle. I'm going to make a noise with my chair, so I apologize. Is she blurring again? What is going on with my camera? There we go. I don't know what's happening. It's usually so agreeable, and today it is not wanting to. It doesn't like my hand. Clear up. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's going on. I'll try to. I didn't change the settings or anything, but it looks like I'm already pretty close. Let me move the angle of the camera because it could be just the height of it that's the problem. I don't know. It's being a booger. I'm trying another angle to see if the camera is going to be a little bit nicer, but it looks like I've already matched her up. I'm going to give her a little bit more highlights around the this part here, just to make it look boobalicious. And I might even go with a little white because you know I use a lot of white on the face. So just to bring these colors together, and a little bit on the chest. And I think that's part of the problem is I use white on the face and I didn't on the body yet. And I need to make sure I use all the same colors so that they blend. That looks pretty good though, right there. I think that is enough, guys. I'm gonna spray her, so without touching her body, just move that out of the way. I am going to cover her face with another one of these guys here. And of course it's going to agree with me, right? Okay, I want to be able to get her neck, but not her hair or her anything else. All right, so that should protect her face well enough and her hair. And I will spray her body. And of course when I'm spraying, I am specifically spraying on her body. I'm not spraying directly on her head. I'm just anything that might fly up there. You know, I just want to protect it. So I'm going to go ahead and spray her body, and that should be it for this part of the body. And then I can go straight to the hair. And I think I'm splitting up the hair and the final touches on the body into two separate videos. So they might be like stitched together strangely. But this would be considered final touches, and the hair of course belongs in the hair video, so that's why I'm doing it that way. Okay, it's time to do the boobs, and for that I use Mod Podge, just the matte stuff, and I picked these little bottles up at the Dollar Tree. It's probably not a great value though. I probably should just grab a really big bottle, you know, because it's probably a better deal. And then I'll just take a brush. Let me find one. Not one of my better brushes, but just any brush that has, you know, small enough. Oh, I'm way too close. Something like that. Let's just make sure it's wet and flexible, and then I will put it right in the Mod Podge. So I've got like that much. Let me get a little bit more actually. And I just dot where I want the nipple to be. Let me get in there so I can see. Ooh, I don't have my glasses on. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate where I want them. And I'm just gonna drop them on there. Just try to build it up a little bit. I might add more. But if I can get enough on there to build this up, that'll be fine. It doesn't matter if they're perfect or not because I am not done. So I'll just do that and let that dry just a little bit. And while that's drying, because I don't want to bump into them and mess them up. I mean, it's not a big deal. If you wipe one off, just do it again. So in the meantime, I'm going to pop her hands off. Yeah, I just stuck my fingernail right in there. Of course. So let's pop her hands off. Hold on. So there's her hands, and I'm going to do her fingernails. So let me pop those babies off and set her in a safe place where her hair can dry, and I mean her boobs can dry a little bit, and I don't mess them up. I keep them away from me because I notoriously mess them up. So here's the hands, and not all dolls' hands come off, I know, but if they do, it's super convenient. I'm just going to paint them red to match her lips. So let me grab my paint. And we've been using the primary red from Liquitex for this whole project. So whatever red you use for her lips, you know, for the majority of the work, just grab that one. Or you can do a different kind of nail, but I figured that this, I want to match her lips with this one. So I'm just going to grab some of that and pop it somewhere on here on this palette. I use this palette to touch up her eyes. So there's some blue and stuff in it, and I'll just give it a little turn. So that's it. That's all. And I need a small enough brush, which this is fine. And I am going to just paint them really quick. There's really nothing to this at all. Another time maybe we'll do some French nails, but I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. But I think you can handle the painting of the nails. And I didn't take off the other nail polish because it's red too, so it doesn't really matter. It's almost just a touch-up job on the what was there before. And I have a glossy somewhere, but I don't know where it is, so I'm going to use the Mod Podge in the luster to do, and it's super shiny, glossy. I'm going to use that to do the sealing of the nails. Alright, so I'm just going to do sealer on all the fingernails and let that dry. Alright, and because I don't have any patience whatsoever, I'm going to pop off and blow it dry. So I'll be right back. Okay, I let it dry a little bit. It's still not done, but it's tacky enough that it won't bleed into the next layer that I want to put on. So I'm just going to put that, just little dots around the edges. And if you do it too soon, what happens is they all just bleed into one big mass. I don't want that, so I'm just trying to create a nipple that has some texture. And of course, I'm including this in the video, but you do not have to do this. I got into the habit of doing it. I had one client, I just made those into one. I had one client who requested it, and it just became a thing that I do now. So all my dolls, I'm going to build some more on top of this. All my dolls get this, unless their clothes are not removable. Of course, why would I waste my time with that? But I almost never, ever make a doll. Almost never. It happens sometimes with a non-removable outfit, but I have done it. It's really rare. So that doesn't look that great, but it doesn't matter because we're going to paint it. And I'm not going to seal her, of course, until after I take the pictures. And I will show you how I do the pictures too. So that'll be kind of fun because I just figured out how to record things that I'm doing on my computer, which is cool. Anyway, I'm going to have to let these dry before I can paint them, and then I'll be back. While I wait for this to dry, I was going to kind of show her outfit. I'm going to try to anyway. So this was made by Sherry Eisenberger. I hope I didn't say that wrong. But she's called Sisson Designs. And I'll link it below if anybody's interested in getting anything made. She makes really beautiful costumes. It has a little, aren't those so cute? Shoulder pads, and it's a wrap dress, and it's super low cut per request of the client, and has a cute little belt. So I feel like she did just an amazing job getting this really cute pink dress that represents designing women down really nice, and I can't wait to put it on her. Sorry for my squeaky chair. Hold on, I gotta grab the shoes. Okay, so toner dolls often come with little pantyhose, which if you do Barbies or other dolls, you've probably never seen these, but they are just the coolest little things. This little tiny pantyhose. I was just mesmerized by this when I got my first 16-inch doll. So those are really cool. And then the shoes are from Facets by Marsha. So that's I can't remember what it's called. I don't think it's called facetsbymarsha.com anymore, like facets.com or something. You can find them though if you just type in Facets by, I'll put a link. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words. But yeah, here are her shoes. So those are super cute. And then her beautiful jewelry also comes from Facets. So you can see it. I'll go ahead and just take these out because it's so pretty. She's got earrings and a necklace. And Marsha has beautiful things. So you can go and look. And she has it not just for toddler size, but also really large dolls and Barbies. So look at that. I mean, I don't know if you're catching how stunning this is. It's just so pretty. Isn't that beautiful? So, and of course there's earrings too. So let me grab the earrings. You can see those. I don't want to make this part too long because we got stuff to do. I said it was going to be a short video, but I totally lied. I have to do the editing and stuff. But yeah, those are the earrings. So they're going to look really, really pretty on Delta. And I have set those aside. Okay, I found other things to do while I let her, you know, nipplies dry. So now that that's done, I'm going to mix up some colors to make the boobies. And so these would be a fleshy tone color. I'll scoot her over a little bit. Bring this over. It's obviously messy. Been using it all day, but the first color I'm going to use is Burnt Sienna. I don't need very much. A little white. So oh my goodness. And a tiny bit of yellow. And I mean just a little tiny, just barely anything. Just a little. I might need more. And maybe a dot of red as well. And I mean it too when I say just barely anything. So let me mix that together and see what we get. I wanted to save some of that darker color, some of the red. Kind of have some dark over there and some light over here, but this looks pretty good. I wonder if it's too dark. Well, you know what? We're going to find out. So I'm not going to be, it's not very fancy or anything like that. I don't have my glasses on. Where are my glasses? Girls, you know you got to have your glasses on to see what you're doing. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm just going to paint right on top of that. Whoa, got a little, I'm painting at a really weird angle. So she's going to have some big nipples. Big areolas. Sorry. Don't want them to show through the dress. But that's actually a really good color. That's actually a really good color. Let's get the other one over here. I'm kind of in the shadows. And I'm going to pick it up in just a second, just to make sure I'm even, because I can't see from this angle. Alright, and then I'm going to take some of the darker color over here if I can. If I get, you know what? I need some more burnt sienna because that's way too light, and I need something just like almost pure. Honestly, I think the most used paint for me, probably black, white, and burnt sienna. Okay, so now I'm just going to paint right here. And it's still a little wet, so that's okay because I want to blend a little bit into it. I've always been somewhat impatient about nipple painting. It is what it is. All right, I'm just trying to blend it out so that it has like a blended layer. And that is really just about it. And it dries, I'll seal it with some Mod Podge, some of the matte one, but I gotta let it dry. Okay, it's time to seal it. And here's a little fun story about Delta Burke. I don't know if anybody knows, but when she first decided to be with her husband romantically, she put a ribbon around herself, and that's how she just a ribbon, nothing else. That's how she presented herself for her first time with her husband. Okay, so I thought that was a funny story. Anyway, I'm going to get her dressed, put the little pantyhose on her. I don't necessarily see why this would be something that you guys would have to watch. So I'm going to see you over by the photography section. And, ooh, how am I going to record that? I got to think about that one. So this is my photo box, and there she is in there, and I'm about to take pictures, but I use my phone to take pictures right now. But you can see that she's in there, and I will be editing the pictures for you to see. So I'm gonna go take those pictures, and basically all I would do is, you know, just take them. I don't think it's mostly the editing will show. Okay guys, we're back, and now it is time. I hope I don't lose. Where's the arrow? Where's the arrow? There it is. Okay, now it's time for me to pick my pictures that I want to use to edit them. So I'm just gonna flip through and kind of take a look at them really quick. So these are the shots that I got, and you can see there's a bunch of crap all around them, but that does not matter. That's me getting an up-close view. She's Designing Women, so I threw that in there. I don't know if it applies because I never watched the show. That's honest. All right, we made it past there. So let me open. I use an older Adobe program here. I have a newer one, but I'm not too comfortable with that one. So let me see. Let me grab this picture. Okay, so that's not my favorite picture. Forget that one. Let me try that again. I want to do one where I got with no, here we go, no stand. Yes, yes. Okay, so the first thing I did was just drag and drop that in. There's also an open over here, but you can just drag the file in. So this is what the picture looks like. And the first thing I'm going to do is come up here to this little square thing. I don't know what these things are called, so I'm just going to draw that box right around her. And then I'm going to go to Image and Crop. I know there's other ways of doing it, but this is just the habit that I've formed. So here we go. And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so I can see better. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm going to go to Image, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to Adjustments, then down to Hue and Saturation, no, Brightness and Contrast, and I'm just going to slide that over a little bit so you can kind of see. You don't want to go too far, but that just gives me a little bit of contrast. I'm going to OK that one. I'm going to go to Levels, and I'm going to take the bar over here, and this is the light. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit more. And this bar, if I move this bar over a little bit, it will also lighten it up a little bit more. But I don't want to go too light because I don't want to wash stuff out. And you can see that's already starting to happen. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. It even cleans up the background a little bit for me. And the hair for me is fine. I don't know, maybe take the eraser and make it smaller. Make it much smaller. So that's this little guy here, and then up here you can slide that to make it bigger or smaller. I don't need it very big. I'm just going to clean up maybe a couple of little hairs. Just a few that just don't look that good, but nothing drastic. And unfortunately, I did not think about this, so I'm going to go to the paintbrush option, and then I'm going to come here first, and I'm going to pick the color of the background because it's not pure white after all. And then I'm going to come here and I'm just going to kind of clean up that so it doesn't look like I made some weird line. Let's get up really close and make sure I didn't mess that up too much. Alright, yeah, it's alright. I don't think it's anything to really worry about. And some of these little hairs aren't that big of a deal. Alright, so her face. Let's go to filter. Sorry about that. And let's go to unsharpen mask. Okay, clearly that's way too strong. So we're going to pull back that first one. Let's bring it up a little bit sharper, and then take this radius, and you can go sharper with that one too. It's too much. Just a little bit, and then the threshold will also help soften whatever you're doing there. Let me take a look here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. Overall, I'm happy with her. So what I want to do is, I don't need this picture to be ginormous. I'm going to go back on it a little bit, see if I can crop more. I don't think it needs more cropping. It looks really good. So I am going to save it. Wait, no, image size first. Image size. And let's make that 1,000. That should be big enough. Overall, that's big enough for the internet. So that looks good to me. And now I'm going to go File, Save As. I want it to be a JPEG, and I'm going to write Delta Pink Dress, because I've done a different Delta before. I can't see if yeah, 001. And I want to keep that at a high level, so I'm going to go 12, that's full, and save. So usually when I do it like this, and you know what, I just noticed that her boobs are not standing out as much as I want them to, so I'm going to give them a little, I'm going to try 2. Yes. And I'm going to save that again. I'm just going to hit save. Okay, cool. Now that I have that done, I'm going to make it smaller, but I want to keep this one open so that I can compare it to the other pictures. So now I have edited one picture, and it wasn't hard at all. It didn't need any corrections or anything like that. It was fine. So let me shut this file, open that one up, and what am I going to pick? Let me try this guy. So I want to be a little bit up close on her face and chest area. Nope, just her necklace. Let's just do that. I just want a full face picture. So I'm going to crop off the rest of her. Image size is going to be no more than 1,000. Should be plenty big enough. You can do it before or after. That's fine. Okay, so here she is. And the first thing I want to do is go to the brightness and contrast and give it just a little pop there. That looks good. Let me make her a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to go to the levels and I'm going to brighten it. And I'm going to just kind of mess a little bit with that. That looks good. And it looks like she matched really good with her skin tone. So everything worked. Now up close, her hair looks a little bit messier. So I'm going to go back here. And this is going to just pick the background color. And then I'm going to go to the paintbrush. And I don't want it to be too big because I'm just going to do a little touch-ups here. Nothing too crazy, but it looks a little raggy around the edges, so I'm just going to kind of soften it up a little bit. And this, my husband makes my banners a lot. He doesn't like when I do this because I'm not doing it right, he said, but honestly, I just am doing a tiny little, just a tiny touch-up. I'm not looking for like a perfect cutout or anything because I'm going to leave the background white. But to me, that's fine. And this picture is also done. And it's, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And then you'll notice that I did not seal her eyes or her lips yet. I'll do that later. So let me go to Save As. And I've already saved a delta, so I'm just going to pick that. And then I'm going to change it to 2. And 12 maximum. All right, so I'm gonna go and do one more and then we'll be done for now because I know you don't want to go through this, me editing every picture, but I want one that's sideways. Do I want this one? This one's kind of fun, isn't it? So this is kind of tricky. I want to make the size, well, no, let's do this. Let's just make it this big because I'm going to write her name on it. So image crop. Okay, here we go. That looks great. Image size is going to be about 1,000. All right. And isn't the dress awesome? So I'm going to go to adjustments and then go to the brightness and the contrast. Go over. Okay, look how dark that made her. So you have to be careful about that. So I can't do too much there or she's going to get too dark. I'm going to come, oh, did I even say what that was? Levels. Adjustments. Levels. I'm going to pull it over this way and then I'm going to lighten that picture up a little bit. So that looks so much better. And that's not too bad. Let me get close. Maybe touch up her hair a little bit. Looks a little fluffy on the edges. Nothing too, you just want it to look somewhat neat, and tidy. I'm not looking to change anything or anything like that. Okay. So, all right, that's cool. That looks really good. And then what I would do to write her name is I'm going to pick the color of her dress. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull my logo over in the picture. And so I just drag and drop that in there. And I'm going to go down here. There's like a little F right there for fonts, I think. I don't really know what it means. It says it's add a layer style. So that's what that means. And I'm going to pick color overlay. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on that. And then click on the custom picker. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick that color. And so now it's pink. And then because it's really light, I'm going to go to a drop shadow. And I hate it, so I'm not using it. Now I have to go find a logo from who made this costume. And that means I've got to go way over here, go here, and then I have to find my logos. Logos. Okay, and that is Sherry's, and it better be here. There it is. Awesome. So that is ginormous. Let's make that 400. Let's see. Is it 100%? What size is this one? Yeah, that's way too big. Image size. Let's try 200%. And we'll drop that over here. And I'm going to do a color overlay on this one as well. So color overlay here, custom picker, and then click on that. Okay. And okay. So Doll by Me, dressed by Sisson Designs. Now let me get it smaller so I can see my whole thing. And of course we've got to get Designing Women logo. It's it's a lot of clicking. So let's see. I did Delta before. So let me go and find my Delta Burke. I think it will be under Delta. If it's not under Delta, it's under someone else. I have a logo in here for her somewhere. Logo. Oh, come on. Come on. I don't see it. Didn't I use it though? All right. It's not there, so I'm trying to think of the name of the other lady. Let me look for Designing Women. Any chance? No. Oh, maybe it started with a J. Jamie Jean Smart. Yes. Designing Women logo. Ha ha ha. There it is. So I kind of like it just the way it is. I'm going to slide that right over here. And all I have left to do now is to put her name. Delta? What do y'all think? Delta? Burke? Alright, that's way too small. So Delta Burke. I think her name is Suzanne Sugarbaker, something like that. I'm not sure, but I don't like this style, so let's go up to the top and start from the beginning and see if we can find a style I like. I don't know if you can see that. This part can be quite tiring. Oh no, that is a definite no. Looks a little too, I can't see that. A little gothic for Delta Burke. Maybe if I made this bigger I could see better. There we go. Quit being that way. Thank you. Alright. Oh, that's not bad. Let's go with that. Delta Burke as, I want to say it's, I'm going to grab my phone. Sorry for the noise. Jump up and grab my phone. And I'm going to look her up. Delta Burke on Designing Women. Okay, so her character's name is Suzanne Sugarbaker. I was right. Suzanne Sugarbaker. So we'll put Suzanne. Sugarbaker. I could learn how to type better. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of a mess right now. So I'm going to move some things around until I can find a good spot for everything. We'll move that here. Maybe I should side by side myself with this. Side by side. Sure, that works for me. All right, and then Sugarbaker and Suzanne. I kind of like to play with that to make it a little bit bigger, maybe. Let me make this a little bit bigger, so let's say 100. Yeah. Same thing here, 100. Okay, and then I think I want to do something where let's see if I like it underlined, drop shadow. I just don't like the drop shadow with the pink. I don't know, it's not working for me. So I'm going to try this little tool that's kind of like a fun text tool. Let's try this one. Whoa, let's not. Ugh, I don't like that. So let's go back and let's try something lighter. Let me move it over so I can see what I'm doing. No, I liked is it this one? No. The flag, that's what I want. I want the flag. Okay, so something like that. I'm just going to wiggle it around a little bit. I hate it. Hate it. Alright, so forget that. Cancel. Let me highlight that again and get rid of it. I just don't like it at all. So back to none. Okay, and instead, let's take this to free transform. And we'll turn it, and then we can kind of just sort of play with that a little bit. And, well, you know what? I'm going to get rid of that. Delete. Yes. Let's leave Suzanne that way and do Sugarbaker that way instead. So back to free transform. And then sort of let's play with it. Just a little bit. The Sugarbaker's making me crazy. Let's see. I don't know. Is it my favorite? I don't know. Something's not right, but my husband would know, but I don't because I am not a professional designer of what is it? Graphic designer. I'm not a graphic designer, unfortunately, but I do what I can. And this is going to have to do. So that is a completed piece. And I will go to Save As. And this will put it in the Photoshop category. And since I don't want to change anything, I'm just going to put it under JPEG. Go back, find. And then this would be, what, number 3? Yeah. So there we go. That one's done. Whew. So really you want to try to put your logo on everything that you work on. I don't need this anymore. I just needed it for the one. I'm sorry about if you hear that funny sound, that's my keyboard thing makes some noise. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to do any more because I think you've seen enough. So I'm going to close it out. I'm going to send some pictures to the client and I will continue to edit these some more pictures so I can have enough for the video. But that is it. I'm all done. Well, that's the end, guys. Thank you so much. I hope this series was really helpful. Message me if you have any questions or you can't find something. I will have a new video series up next Sunday, so I will see you then.